Action. Okay, so we are talking about this configure DNS. So copy, rename administrator, and then disable it. We did that too. Create a replica DC, and then second AD integrated DNS and global catalog server. Of course, I'm gonna again ask, what's a global catalog server? It does forest-wide search and logs in the user, right? What is replication? Two servers talking to each other. Two. The server which has an active directory is called domain controller. There are two servers, yes, but they don't replicate. So two domain controllers talk to each other. Why? So suppose there are 10 domain controllers in a 80,000 users environment, and there are 10 domain controllers. So they talk to each other. If I say that, what do I mean by that? They are talking to each other. So replication is when domain controllers update each other, talk to each other, and when I don't have markers around to draw that diagram. No, that's not replication. Okay, I forgot those markers. So I'm just gonna create the diagrams on my computer, which sucks. But anyway, I don't have option here. I forgot the markers at home. Sorry, it's all recorded. So I'm just gonna create a quick MS Paint here, and my diagrammatic skills you will discover. Okay, this is one server, and this is the this is not another server, but this is another server. And when you start replicating, so suppose you have created how many 400 users with PowerShell. If you have created 400 users with PowerShell, and 400 users, now those 400 users, any one user from there, suppose these are the this is the user who is trying to connect from this computer. These are the small computers, and when you try to connect and authenticate, so the user will authenticate. Authentication information, the user put the username, password, and authentication request goes to this domain controller. This user also puts username, password. The authentication request goes to this domain controller. So this domain controller, if the replication between these two did not happen, hey, cool error, right? Okay. If replication did not happen between the two domain controllers, what will happen? The request for this user, so 400 users were created. One of the 400 user is Peter. So Peter tried to put his password, username, password here, but the replication never happened between the domain controllers. So this domain controller say, I don't know you, sorry. So even though username, password is correct, the domain controller never replicated this information, this domain controller, to this for some reason. So the username, password will be rejected because there's no record of that, right? And this user's information is present here, and randomly the users are so the user requests are load balanced. What do I mean by that when I say load balanced? Load balanced. So this means that if the requests are coming from many workstations, so they are redirected to available domain controllers one by one. They are distributed among the domain controllers, not like all the information or requests are coming to just one domain controller. So suppose this information is not there, you're not able to log in. So every domain controller within site talk to each other. All DCs replicate. So I will stop saying talk. I'll say all DCs replicate within site every 45 minutes. seconds. Hey, welcome back to Earth. Okay, I mean you were already there. Nah, just kidding. So and between sites every 180 minutes, and this is just a default value. If you have a good WAN connection, very good WAN connection, you can just reduce it to just 60 minutes. Every 60 minutes talk to the other branch. Yep. So site, we're gonna go there, but briefly, it's just another physical area, another physical location. It could be actually also in Active Directory. It could be also another subnet within the same. So this is one site we can create in this floor, and the floor below us we can create another site as well. So different subnets, but mainly it's different physical area, physical campus is another site. So between sites, because it's using WAN connection. WAN connections are always slow, right? Very slow. So when you're using WAN connections, domain controller are not supposed to talk every 45 seconds. This means you're creating a huge traffic, and the data could drop because it's an internet connection. Maybe at certain times it's not reliable. So that's how. So normally there are that's another good point you've taken out. So if you have two branches, suppose whenever I'm creating a triangle, Microsoft always create triangles to represent forests or separate branches, right? So this is a separate branch, this is a separate branch. How it is working with us in our company, it is this branch is actually the production, we call it prod, and this is we call as DR, or disaster recovery, which just means that it's when we create one server, a copy of that server we place here. So this is actually in Toronto downtown, and this is in Etobicoke. So this branch is in Etobicoke downtown, but we have very good WAN connections, and whatever critical server, SQL server or Exchange server we install in this Toronto downtown, one copy is placed here, which is production environment, which means all the users or client connections will be going to this prod environment, production environment. This is in use right now by everyone, and one copy of that same server is placed here in DR environment, disaster recovery, and then the replication occurs simultaneously. I mean, so if we have a very good WAN connection, which we have, so the companies invest on their WAN connections, so you can just put that 180 minutes to just 60 minutes, just replicate right now. But this is continuous replication when it comes down to that. So there are the one pair here, and they replicate even on very small number of minutes. But we can put the clustering. Clustering is one more thing that, okay, what is clustering, anyone? We put two servers together. Now these yeah, if I create these two small boxes, these are actually two servers. Suppose clustering just means that one server is active, one is passive, which means, or one is active, one is on standby. So one server, whatever is going on in one server, exact copy of it is being created on the standby server. So standby server is just waiting for the first server to be dead. No, I mean, like, it's not wishing for that, but anyway, it's standby. As soon as first server has any physical problem, the second server takes over and becomes active, and this becomes standby, right? So clustering happens this way. This is a very sought after skill in the market. They always ask, do you know clustering? Did you do clustering? So we have a very good lab for clustering, detailed lab for clustering. We're gonna fail over this server, that server, we're gonna crash that server, and throw it out of the window. No, just kidding, it's a virtual machine, right? So clustering is one thing that we should know, but main thing, domain controllers must talk to each other. I always use the word talk because we use in the office. Hey, they're talking to each other. Yeah, who? Domain controllers. Who else? Okay. So yeah. So every 45 seconds. This is one site, right? So every 45 seconds, this thing should be within 45 seconds. And we tested that when we in the last class we tested, right? I created an object, a user, before I even what time I took to go and log into the second server and check, that object was already showing in the second server while I never created that object there, right? So it copied right away then and there within seconds, right? So yes, domain controllers must talk to each other. Diagrams are okay, right? Cool. Okay, just kidding. So huh?
No need to take pictures, huh?
Oh, but it's a picture already. Yeah, it's a MS Paint. So yeah, till for now I'm just gonna save it and send it to you with the discussion. Already it's in the video. So yeah, even the presence I took, that's also in the video. So then there was a question from the present. Hey, why did you put me absent? So I was presenting was in the video as well. That is cool. Okay. So yeah, this is what we checked. Then check sites and services to show. Did we check that? So check sites and services to show if both domain controllers are showing also. We're gonna do the site Active Directory sites and services. But for now we did check in ADUC. ADUC is what? So it is Active Directory users and computers. It is installed when Active Directory is installed. Hey, are you all on Humber 3? So notepad.cc/Humber3. So I'm still updating more here, right? Same page. Or shall I create second one, Humber 4? Anyway, Humber 3 is there. So previous content and the new content I'm adding right now is still there. So notepad.cc/Humber3. And then we learned how to uninstall the replica DC and make the second server a member server again. So guys, I cannot say it enough that you should follow your labs. Do your labs, repeat your labs, because exam passing may get you the opportunity for interviews, but doing the labs will get you the job. So in the end, we want the job, not just the interview. Although it's fun, just giving interviews. So, no, okay. So we need a job, right? So we really need to repeat those labs. And when you see a video and when you do the lab, they are totally different things. When you do the lab, the confidence you gain, you never know at that time. But when you go for interviews and other things, and what you do, you will remember that. And the confidence with which you're going to answer those things will be different from those who just watched a thing and said it. They would know right away, interviews right like this, that you did this thing and you're talking about it. They have some special powers when they start taking interviews. Okay. So it's very hard to fake them that, hey, I did it. Okay, did you do that? This and that? What happens after that? Okay, if this happens, then what happens? If you have done all that, so the more you repeat, the more errors you will get, the more you will know. You will just tell them about any one error, they will stop right then and there. Yeah, this guy did the lab. He has practical experience, right? Okay. That's a good idea. Okay, cool. What's sysvol? Oh, let me hide that. But you're already on the that page. Sysvol, central repository of and distribution point of all group policies and scripts, right? Domain controller replicate to each other within. Okay, we did that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go way down here, and we're going to create a child domain just to stick with the structure. So till now what we did, let's finally start showing the slides. So I'm just gonna go there and go from my couple of million folders, and one day I will be there, don't worry. Okay, day 4. Cool, on there. So this is what we did till now. I wanted you to concentrate on the lab first, because you will have that confidence to go ahead with other labs if you have done previous labs. Till now it's day 3. I'm just going through. It's day 4 actually, but this is have 2 DCs on both, have 1 client machine. So I just wanted to go here. This is the diagram which is going to show us what we are doing today. Toronto headquarters is our office or our company where we have just created one server, which is a domain controller, Windows 2012 R2, and we create the domain called mydomain.local. Everyone did that, right? And it is AD integrated. It has the DNS role, which is called AD integrated DNS, right? We had some kind of discussion on DNS in the previous video, so I would recommend that always copy that video in your cell phones, in your tablets, whenever you're on a journey. Just yeah.
Are you removing the video on this role?
No.
I don't think day one video.
Day one video is the YouTube video. You saw the YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
Day one and day two actually are YouTube videos. 3 is I uploaded already. You got that, right? And try to see those videos because we have discussed so much there. We did the lab, but we discussed more the concepts. Repeat those concepts again and again. Put that in the cell phones, or just like other cohorts are doing and other students elsewhere are doing. They put it in the cell phone. They listen to that 1 hour listening. After 1 day, you will have all the concepts in your head. Okay, what we are having, we're assuming that there are more servers here in our environment. Right now what we have is server 1, server 2, right? And the users are connecting to that. Authentication is going on. DNS name resolution is going on. Global catalog is doing the forest-wide searches for you right now. So you have set up, suppose we assume that you have set up a Toronto headquarters branch already where basic authentication is going on. You may have installed some banking applications or insurance applications according to the company that is, and third-party applications they have. And then now we are creating a new branch here in Mississauga, and the branch needs to have another extra name here added to the mydomain.local. So we're gonna create a child domain, and then we're going to test the login of the machine from a child domain, and then test the login of the machine to the parent domain. And we're going to try to see the environment and do some more tests and try to discuss about why do we need a child domain, and how to connect that, and what servers are there. So first we can go, yeah, we have done all that. Oh guys, we haven't done DHCP, right? Yeah, so we did DC, DNS, GC. DHCP is a mucho importante task, right? So any one liner for DHCP, it is doing name resolution, right? Okay, you got me. Automatic IP address maintenance management, which means what? IP addresses are automatically provided to the machines, client machines, which do not have IP addresses, and they are taken away as well if the machines are off for a certain amount of time, right? So automatically it is managed, right? So true or false?
True.
That's good. Okay, let's go ahead. What? Let me just say that statement first. Okay, true or false? DHCP maintains all the client IP addresses, all the printer IP addresses, all the servers and domain controllers IP addresses. DHCP maintains.
Maybe it depends.
Hey all, let's grab him now. So again, DHCP maintains IP addresses for clients, printers, servers, domain controllers.
Maybe.
So you're saying maybe, you're saying false, you're saying false,
Depends. False.
and Albors is saying true.
Maybe.
You're spared now. Let's grab him now. You're okay. You actually said true. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Let's grab him. Okay. So yeah, those who say true. I mean, those who say true. Yeah. So your reason, maybe your reason, then the false, your reason. Yeah, your reason.
We can list IP addresses, so everything that has MAC address is
Okay. That's it. Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
We use DHCP for most of the clients,
Mm-hmm.
but normally printers, we are supposed to assign a static IP, but still it is better to control it through DHCP server by binding to the MAC address. So DHCP issue it as a
Reservation.
reservation because it reduces the misconfiguration. So everything is controlled by DHCP server.
Okay.
So no manual IP assignment, but it is a reservation. So better than manual assignment.
As far as the printers go, you're saying maybe.
Yeah, because of the printers, maybe it is.
What about servers and domain controllers?
Yeah, even servers. It is better to control everything through DHCP server rather than one part is DHCP and other part is manual, because two administrators can assign the same IP.
Okay.
Because they maintain an Excel sheet, so they may. by
Yeah,
mistake-
it's always
so
maintained
it's
by
better
Excel sheet,
to
yeah.
Go through the DHCP
Mhm.
with the reservation.
Yeah, there is a second thought. Yeah.
We can reserve the IP address for server domain controllers and
Reserve.
create a scope for the other scope.
Okay, now those were false. So we got your ideas. Anyone who's saying false? Yeah.
DHCP is a protocol being IP address for all equipment that we use.
Yeah.
Basically, the Zoom protocol considered cloud.
Okay.
It is domain. I think that the one service for the all of
For the all. So servers and domain controllers as well. Yes. Anyone false? Yeah, you're saying.
DHCP is just for you to make a reservation. And you cannot actually list the name statically for every computer. Even in the MAC addresses, you can spoof MAC addresses.
Yeah.
You can easily spoof it. So the list does not contain it.
So is it recommended to have domain controllers and servers in DHCP? No. Okay. What's the reason?
Because we need static IP for domain controllers and for servers which authenticate, authorize. We need static IP for our domain controllers.
Any reason why?
Because application is programmed to that IP. And
It could be hard coded to that.
Yeah.
And through DHCP, although we can reserve, but still we cannot depend on DHCP.
Yeah.
And set DNS default gateway is separate.
DNS what?
DNS address default gateway, you can set all of them.
We cannot. We can set all.
The IP address of the DNS server, IP address of the default gateway
Yep,
for
yep,
all
yep.
of the clients. By default, they request an IP address. They also give DNS IP and default gateway address.
Okay. Any other reason? Any other who can say that it's false because?
because DNS name is served on that IP address, integrated on that IP address.
Yeah.
So we can't use DHCP for server. DNS is
So any reason? Yeah, I got your reason. Any other reason?
any other reason why we can't use DHCP for server?
Well, basic recommendation is always that domain controllers and servers, critical servers, should be given static IP. The DHCP is for the clients, and even in our environment, we don't give printers the static IP, DHCP IP, because if a printer DHCP has some problem, if there are any connectivity issues with DHCP server itself, then there could be issues with your device as well, whenever it's requesting again or restarted the device. So printers are also very crucial devices, because maybe the guys who are writing our checks for salary, they are printing those checks, and we don't want those checks to be stuck. So we need the static IP on those printers, so at least our checks are printed, and then put it on DHCP. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. So static IP for printers, static IP for servers, and static IP for domain controllers is the main policy in every network. Don't depend on DHCP for your critical resources. Rule of thumb: do not depend on DHCP for your critical resources, right? If printers is not, if you consider as a system administrator, you're the system administrator, you're going to decide that. The company relies on your decision. and your suggestions. So you say that, hey, I'm gonna put printers on DHCP. Okay, go ahead and put. I want to put domain controllers on DHCP. Don't even think about it. I mean, it's okay. It's gonna work. But the thing is, whenever you're discovered and another system administrator comes and says that, oh, you put DHCP on domain controllers as well, so that will be the day when you will be so embarrassed.
But how do you going to maintain the list of
Excel sheet. You just said that, right?
Yeah, but
We have our Excel sheet.
it is not a good idea.
No, critical resources are not in thousands, and there are network teams. And if it's a large organization, teams are different. So we, in our messaging environment, we have so many Exchange servers. We have a Excel sheet that we daily or weekly visit and revisit. Nothing is automated there because critical resources should be manually checked. Don't leave it on automation. The most critical resources, although there is so much automation going on, still we maintain our 86 or nearly 90 servers in Excel sheet every week. We want to make sure okay, we have everything there, and it's on static IP. That's like, you must put on static IP. Okay, DHCP, we're gonna install that. We're going to talk about all the pages that come, which option is there and which option is not there. Then we're gonna go for the second thing, which is the child domain. Why we want to install child domain, and what would be the best idea about going through it, through that, what kind of naming we could select. And then we have child domain will take a lot of time, but we can have another lab for the tree domain, which will be really talking about a totally separate naming DNS namespace for the whole environment. We were talking about till now trees and child domains, and we discussed it. I hope the sound was coming in the video. If you have gone through the video and I was on that side of the board, and maybe the sound was like that, right? So I mean, you could just turn on the volume to the full and try to listen like this. But anyway, we talked about a lot about tree.
It's quite weird. You go there, and it is hardly impossible that it's recorded very less voice, very low voice.
Oh, so it was clear
Yes, obviously.
from there as well,
Your
the
voice
video.
is quite high.
Oh, I'll take it as a compliment. Yeah. Okay. So guys, no, my sound is okay. There's some people sitting at the end of that. I need binoculars to see them actually, like that.
You can't see them, but your laptop, which is actually recording, is very near to you.
Oh, hey, I never realized that. Okay,
Now you got it.
now I got it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that there's child domain here, and there's tree domain here. Hey, it's coming to my laptop, man. Come on. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I can't help it. I just loud. I love loud. Anyway, so yeah, I need to talk right now. I'm still talking to everyone, right? At the end. So in the previous, cohort, at the end of when they were giving evaluation for the teacher, one student wrote that, hey, he could talk a little lower in lower voice, and I was like, who is this? But there were no names there. I was like, ah. So I wanted to ask, hey, everyone sign on the paper. Then who was that guy? Anyway, yeah. So I'll try to make it lower and try to create some more echo here, so the lower voice travels. Let's start with DHCP and go for first server. And remember, our second server has a static IP, right? We need to remove that static IP later, but right now let's configure the first server. So our diagram for the server would be like this. Can I save that? Okay, day 4 Humber. Okay, going through those couple of billion folders. So this is our diagram. We have one server here and one server here. Yep. I'm going to now. Yeah. Okay, this is our already it is DC, DNS, GC. I'm always, whenever I'm creating a diagram, I'm always putting those roles there so you could remind yourself, or it's for just refresher. Whenever you're creating a diagram, it's always try to create a diagram whenever you're talking about networks. Always try to create a diagram at the start of the class what you have already covered. So in next Saturday, when you're creating a diagram, you would put like this, right? Till now what we have done, we have put here, right? So always keep adding the roles and reflect it in your every Saturday when you enter the class. Create that diagram. Same for Cisco, same for VMware. Create your diagrams at the start of the class what we have covered. Your one picture would reflect what you have already covered, right? And then when you're writing there, if you're writing there these DC, DNS, GC, at least the roles will start coming in your mind. Okay, GC does that, DNS does that, DC does that. These are three different services being offered, right? One is authentication, DC, DNS is name resolution, GC is forest wide search and login. So three different major services are being offered in one installation of Active Directory. So always create your diagrams at the start of every class, because the whole course is all about networks, right? So in networks, without diagram, you have no idea what you're dealing with. If you cannot explain your network in a diagram, in one diagram, hey, what's your network? Okay, we have this. It's traffic is flowing through this. In one picture, you should be able to show your diagram, your network flow, your network components, your network configurations, your devices and switches. So always start diagrams with those things which already are there and you know them very well as a system administrator, right? So right now we have DC, DNS, GC. This is second server is a member server right now, but it's going to be serving as a client who is going to receive an IP. So we're gonna treat it as a client for DHCP lab only, but it's actually a member server, right? This means we don't need a Windows 7, we don't need a Windows 8, because what we will be doing with this member server are the exact same steps we will do on Windows 8 and Windows 7, right? Just remove the static IP and it's gonna grab an IP address from, so there will be some troubleshooting coming now. It's coming our way, so I'm gonna tell you how to get out of that in our environment. Right now the roles are these, and this is I'm adding now as a DHCP from next week, next Saturday. When you create your diagram, and please do create your diagrams always for networks, what have you achieved till now, start putting this all 4 roles, because you will have these roles, right? Anyway, let's go ahead, and this is our diagram right now. We're going to install DHCP here, add the role, and then we're going to let the client receive that IP from the DHCP, and then we're going to talk about different portions of the DHCP, and then we're going to go for child domain. Okay, I'm going for server 1, Humber server 1. Everyone there? Yes. Okay, thank you for that reply. Okay, so add roles and features. We're gonna quickly add the DHCP. We are using DHCP every day in our, we are using DHCP daily. Is that true or false? We are using DHCP daily. Wow, there's a lot of true and false. Okay. Where? Yeah, it does that, but we are using it daily.
Yes.
Yes.
It depends on this.
What?
Depends on the setting. It's true because we are set up for user.
Yeah, in our daily life we are using DHCP. Even a non-technical user is using DHCP. Our DSL home routers, we have internet at home. How do we get IP address? Do you put static IP every, first time did you have to put static IP?
No.
Your machines, your cell phones get IP automatically. We are using DHCP daily. Without that, our life will be not heaven. Okay, that's a correct, nice way to say that. Otherwise, we have to put static IP. on the first day of our device. And then you come to Humber. Oh, remove that static IP. Humber, what was on static IP in Humber? Okay, static IP here. Tuck, 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 tuck. Oh, wrong. Okay, tuck, apply. Oh, thank God. Okay, then you go to McDonald's. What is the static IP here? And then you go to KFC. Static IP, please. And you go to a guest. Static IP, please. No, DHCP makes our life very, very easy, right? Okay, so let's have a DHCP of our own for our network environment, which is always a very, very crucial part of any network. Add roles and features. Let's go to next. First, 3 windows. Just close your eyes and go ahead. No, in a production environment and an interview, don't say this. Okay. Anyway, disclaimer. So yes, we are installing this on this server. This role on this server. Next. This is the roles feature. Major applications are here, so they're called roles, and you should see the DHCP above DNS here. Whenever you click a role, some recommendations of features automatically always come. So this means all the features that will help install and work that role will be selected. So when I click here, these features are coming here. For other roles also the same thing. Always just click add, right? We need all those features to run this role, right? So everyone did that. Next. Okay, since features were already selected, if you have very good reason to select any feature by yourself, then you can go ahead, but for now and in most cases just go next on the features page, because features which are necessary for that role are already selected. Okay, so next, until you reach this, everyone read this. Okay, click restart. This is just if the Windows requires a restart, it will automatically restart. Otherwise it will not restart if there is no requirement, right? So click yes and click install. So this is going to give us the binary files, setup files for the DHCP. It's installing just like in Active Directory we were installing the binary files. This is also installing the binary files, but it's going to do 2 things. Okay, let it come. Okay, you should always notice that if there's a yellow triangle up there, this means that you have installed this role here and it requires some further configuration, right? So it's installed for everyone? Oh, come on. Oh man, I'm so bored to death now. Like, get SSD, come on. I'm yawning. Ugh. Okay, you're boring me. So okay, next. Oh no, close. Done. Okay, which wall should I hit my head now? Okay, okay. Security guy was there. Close. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, so security guy was looking at me. Done?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead. Anyone should say yes and I will consider yes for everyone, right? Yeah. So we'll have some, just say yes. Come on. Then I'll say, hey, I heard yes, come on. Okay, on your left side. On your left side is the DHCP role, but it's not configured. But anyway, don't click that. If you clicked it already, it's too late. It's doomed now. Anyway, so yellow triangle, whenever you install a role, after every new role installation, go to the yellow triangle and see what it asks for. So if I click the yellow triangle, it says complete DHCP configuration. It's going to do 2 things, actually 3. So let's click that and find out what are those 3 things, right? Everyone there?
Yes.
Majority is there. Okay, so we'll go for voting now. And just to make your virtual machines faster, try to stop any background applications like antivirus. Maybe it started scanning and it's slowing down your virtual machines, because your virtual machine needs as much RAM as possible, right? So always stop all the background applications. Maybe there's Skype started and you're already, hey, I'm here, how are you? So it's taking up memory, right? When you say, hey, I'm here. Okay. Red, not yellow.
Yeah, I got an error message. I repeated it.
Oh, okay. What's the error message? Can anyone read the error message, or what type of error message is there?
It says feature installation.
Failed.
The request to add or remove features on the specified server failed.
You're installing on server 1
Yes.
and it failed. Okay, for how many it failed? 1, 2, 3. That's it? For everyone else passed?
Yes.
Okay, since majority is passed, okay, it's okay. Yeah, so can you're retrying, right?
Yeah.
You guys are retrying. And
For the
retrying,
next
in Windows, when you're stuck with the most weird kind of problem, bingo, restart the Windows.
Successful.
Oh, it's successful? Okay, retry. So, yeah. So, if you try again. If that doesn't work, restart again. That's another proverb now. Restart again.
Yeah. Remove the restart option. No, this is just not.
Okay, complete DHCP configuration. Let's click that and we will know. So I have just clicked the yellow sign and click the complete DHCP registration. Everyone on that screen?
Yes.
All right. So there are two things it's doing here on this screen, and third is authorize. So two things are that it's creating DHCP administrators security group, and it's creating a DHCP users security group. And we're going to talk about OU and groups as well, organizational units and groups. But it's creating two groups and administrators who will be, you can add any user whom you want to manage, who you will be managing DHCP role on your behalf. If you want anyone to delegate that, you can just add that user to DHCP administrators, and that user will have the powers to manage the DHCP server features. Authorize means what? Authorized DHCP server on target computer means authorized by who? DHCP is asking for authorization from Active Directory. So the Active Directory will know that, okay, this server will act as a DHCP server as well, which is itself server 01, right? So next, credentials. Everyone is seeing admin 1. Okay, that's the renamed administrator, right? Okay, so everyone must be seeing this on the first server, credentials. If not, let me know, right? Okay, next. Okay, it's commit. So everyone click commit, and everyone must see this done. If you're seeing any cross or red cross here, this means there's a problemo. No problemo? Alright. Problemo niet. Okay, close. Is it both done? Done? Okay, close. Close. Okay, now we need to configure DHCP. How do we do that? Go to tools and go to DHCP. Everyone, every 2, every 3 there? Yeah.
You didn't copy the user. He's still using that.
And is it disabled? You did not disable it, right?
The user is going to use it.
So go to Active Directories and computers. So go here, Active Directories and computers. Oh yeah, you did not attend the class, right? Last class. So administrator is there. As long as it's not disabled, it's okay. It's okay. You should not still get the error if it's not disabled, right?
This commit is equal to 2008 authorize.
Okay, again.
2008 authorize
Yes, but authorize option separately also comes here as well. When you right click a DHCP, if it is not authorized from here, then you right click and you can authorize from there, or you can unauthorize from there and then authorize again. So we can do still that in 2012. Okay, everyone, DHCP here. Everyone there? Yes. Okay, so DHCP here, and then now we need to configure DHCP. So double click that. Everyone should be seeing IPv4 green button. It should be green. Everyone's IPv4 is green, right? No one is red. Okay, so silence means okay, yes. So we need to configure it. How do we do that? Right click the IPv4. Again, I am right clicking the IPv4 and going to new scope. So new scope means what? Scope is the area in which you make all the configurations of a DHCP server, right? It has all the clients inside, the DHCP ranges inside. So new scope, everyone. Okay.
Sorry, what is it?
So cancel out IPv4. Did you open the DHCP console?
Yes.
Okay, IPv4, right click, new scope. Every two there? Alright. New scope. So welcome wizard, click next. So first thing is name and description. So yeah, we can give any name here, but if we are creating for level 1 users, suppose there's a floor 1 which we call in our company as level 1, you could just put it as a branch 1. You could put it maybe all clients of this whole building, whole campus will be receiving IP addresses from this range. So you can just say Humber North Campus 1. It's up to you, right? Or maybe one building is receiving or having another DHCP or another scope, and another building has a second scope. So you can have building 1, building 2, building 3. So it's up to you. So wherever the clients are, you can just define that area or name that area. Yeah, we can rename anytime. Yep. Yeah, it's not permanent. So level 1 users, and in the description, all computers on level 1, just to make it more understandable. I'll just put the description as well here. All computers on level 1. You can just put according to your situation in your network, right? So next, okay, start IP address and IP address. So this is the range that the DHCP, we are giving DHCP, hey you DHCP, you're going to distribute IP addresses from this range only. Okay, 192.168.0.50, and the ending range is 192.168.0.60, or let's make it 70, because I'm gonna ask you a question, a trick question. Gateway? We have a gateway with that? Hey, I was checking you. No, I mistake. It was a mistake. Thank you. Yeah, so we can just go for 60. We cannot give our gateway as in our DHCP range, especially not gateway. So 60 to 80. Okay, we're changing that. That's a good catch. Thank you.
But we can use 50 and create an exception.
Yeah, the exception.
Yeah, but
That's the best way. That's
that
the
is, keep it away from DHCP is better. Yes, we can do it. Technically, yes.
not reservation, exception.
No. This is coming next. This is the next window, exception. So yes, we can do that. But in our environment, we keep away critical resources from DHCP. We don't even get near to that. So we have reserved already static IP range, and then we have reserved just a DHCP range, right?
Can't we do something
Yeah.
like that we have a DHCP for everything, but we can particularly make sure that it is in the MAC address?
Technically, yes.
Because in my
Best practice, no.
No, best practice, no.
That's the worst practice. Yeah, but not the best practice. Critical resources away from DHCP. Whatever you think is critical. DC is critical. Domain controller is critical. Servers are critical. In our case,
That might fail.
yeah, it could create later or any time horrible problems, connectivity problems. So critical resources away from DHCP. Yeah. Okay, so it's getting /24 length, and the subnet mask is 255.255.0. That's your Cisco class. Yep. We can give it 100 to 250. It's up to us. It depends on you as a system administrator. Set some IP addresses separate. Okay, next quiz, next page. This range has been given by everyone. Yeah, 60 up to 80. Next. So can you give me quickly, this is exclusion range. So what IP to what IP you want excluded, or which the DHCP will not use? So so you're saying 70 up to 70 to 75. You're saying that. Anyone else?
It is anything between 50 and 70.
So you're saying 50 to 70?
50,
Up to?
no, 51, 59.
Yeah, no, it's a range. You can exclude a range. Yeah, anything?
The range that we can't exclude that from
No, just give the range. Come on, let me have some fun. 50 to 60 you're saying. Okay.
From 1 to
1 to 20. Okay.
Anything with
1 to 1. Who's saying that? No. 1 to 50.
anything between 60 to 80. You can put that.
Man, you excluded all the fun from here. Okay, guys. So the main thing is to remember here. You can only exclude from within this range. You cannot, you cannot suggest anything that is not even in that. So 1 to 20 is, already static IP. We reserve. It's not in DHCP. So between 60 and 80 you can exclude only, not after that or not before that, right? So that was always the fun part. Whenever I do DHCP, I have that fun. So many students say out, ranges from there. So I'll say, oh, okay, sorry. Next, exclusion range. What? Now there will be another trick question. Now be ready for that. This will be, okay. If I say now, it's not going to be fun, right? Okay, I'm giving a range here. I'm giving the range. So yes, your suggestion is okay. 192, 168. Now be ready for this. It's not coming sooner. We started the range from 60 up to, okay. So yeah, 061 up to 192, 168, 0 dots. Now you're alert. It's not going to be fun anyway. So 70. Okay. Exclusion range is from, remember this, and the next trick question is coming. Click add, and I think you're gonna catch it anyway. So this is added. Next, what is this? Lease duration, right? So you lease this IP for this number of days. So you lease the IPs which you put in the previous page to this number of days. So is it a good idea to put 999999 here? You're saying no. I'm just putting the maximum. Hey, give this IP 192.168.75 for 999 days. Give it IP to that machine. Okay, so what? Okay, what's wrong here? Or what's right here?
Resourcing depletion. Scope. Is full. Become full.
run out of the IP, some users are not
Resources are not
connecting.
utilized.
Yeah, and correct. So one device gets an IP for 999 days. So the DHCP will not check it until that time is passed. Actually, it checks on 50% of the time passed. That is also how much days? 500 days. After 500 days, DHCP will wake up. Okay, let me check all the devices now. I've been sleeping for 500 days. So that's not good. Maybe the device was deleted or thrown out after 1 month, 30 days, and the IP will not be checked before 500 days, 50% of the time, right? So this device has kept the IP for, okay, do the math. Okay.
0 is never expired.
Yeah. So 8 days here or you can put 0 here on days and 8 hours you can put, or 8 minutes. No, that's too less. Okay.
So 0 is when expire.
Yeah. Next,
So, how many days?
8 default. So 8 days means when will the DHCP check for this device? 50% of the time has passed of 8 days, 4 days, it will check, right? At once, oh, this device is there or not. If it's not there, then it'll check again at the 100% of the time, and it will take over the IP either, or it will renew if the device is still there.
What about 0?
No, 8 days, 0 hours. So full 8 days are passed. Yeah, you can just put here like 8 days and 2 hours, 1 hour. Yep. Okay, what is the best practice? What is the industry standard? So in your companies or any of the companies, oh, okay. So in my previous job, we had, it was a university, so we had like how many? 1,000 computers. So we put first 30 days in DHCP, but the computers were like changing here and there, formatting and replacing from this IP to that IP. So IP resources were getting less. So they were given some other subnet. So this IP was still there for 30 days. So we changed it to 15 days, and that was perfect for us. 1,000 computers. It depends on how many computers are coming and going, right? In this environment now, it's 80,000 computers. So DHCP is still, I think, 20 days, yeah. And it just checks. It does not come and go often because there are so many VLANs created. So there are smaller scopes having like 50 computers in one scope. So one DHCP responsible for 50 computers, one DHCP responsible for like 60 or 70 computers, 100 computers, 200 computers. And they're not moving that much because they are given to the employees. So, but there are DHCP for Wi-Fi. That is like 2 hours only, or 4 hours only. Every 2 hours check, and 4 hours if the person has gone with the cell phone will get the Wi-Fi. So it's always, lease time is very less when the devices are moving, coming and going more frequently, right? So lease time is a little more if you have devices that don't move a lot. Okay, so it's up to you. Best practice is about, according to the moving. So why would you put it 15 days? Now we know. Next, and these are the options for, I want to configure these options now for, now we are telling all the clients who are going to receive the IP that who is your domain controller, which IP is your DNS server, which IP has the DNS role, and what is your gateway. So if DHCP does not tell that to all the clients, then who will tell? Then we will have to go to each client, put the static IP and put statically the gateway, put statically or manually the preferred DNS. Instead, since DHCP is distributing the IP addresses, so why don't DHCP also tell them automatically that, hey, this is your DNS server, this is your domain controller, this is the name of your domain, and this is your gateway. So these are the information we're going to select here now. Yes, I want to configure these options. Definitely. Next, did we configure a gateway? Yes. 192.168.0.50. Gateway is always the IP of a router, right? Here it's asking to add an IP address for a router used by clients. Enter the address below. Okay, whatever gateway we put. Yep. DHCP, static IP. Especially, routers, switches, managed switches. Managed switches are all critical devices. I would count them critical. As soon as we define them critical, no DHCP. They should not be getting IP from DHCP. If DHCP is gone or they restarted and DHCP is not there, okay, they're waiting for an IP while they are the main means of communication between the whole network. So they're critical, yeah? That's why. Yeah. So routers, switches, very critical. No way DHCP. Yeah. If it is already given and you cannot take it away now and give it static, because so many users are connected and applications are hard coded to that IP, then reserve it. Yeah, but that's not best practice. You have to give static IP wherever lots of users are connected. Servers, static IP, because servers are supposed to give services to hundreds or thousands of clients, so they are already considered as critical. Okay, 192.168.0.50. That's what clients will know. Oh, this is our gateway. Okay, then clients will ask, okay, what's our domain name and where is our DNS? So next screen shows that this is our parent domain, my domain local, or whatever the domain name there in your company, and to configure scope clients to use DNS servers on your network, enter the IP addresses for these servers. So it already detected that the parent domain is this, and it already detected that the DNS server role is installed on this IP 192.168.0.1. So it already detects that. We as system administrator will make sure, yes, this is the information there, and yes, we validate that this is the correct information. So okay, next. If we have another DNS server, suppose, yep.
The parent domain is same as DNS suffix
Yep.
used in Wins.
We are not gonna configure wins.
The same thing. right?
Yeah, it's the same thing exactly.
But let's say we keep it blank, so it is there issue.
It's better to have it there. It's always recommended. Best practice is to have it there. Don't leave it blank.
FQDA.
Yep, then it's going to detect that, definitely. But it's better to always keep it there. Parent domain. Okay, next. Everyone there? Wins is Windows Internet Naming Services. This was NetBIOS 2 IP address name resolution. Main thing about Windows is that it's just for Windows platform. This means if you have Linux devices or non-Windows devices that are trying to do name resolution, they cannot do that. Wins is being discouraged, but it's still in 2012. I was expecting that at least by 2008, maybe that's the last operating system having this Wins option, but 2012 also has it because so many networks have very old computers as well, older servers as well, and they are still using Wins, and they say, hey, it's working fine for us, so why do we remove it? And still, big networks have still huge amount of Windows computers. Wins is there as an extra name resolution, which is okay, but DNS is more being encouraged, and Wins is more being discouraged. So we're not using Wins, we're not going to configure Wins. It's not in the exam objective. You went through the exam anyway. You're going to go through the exam questions, so Wins question might be not there, or maybe one or two. Yeah.
If we have two computers, just two computers, and it has host names, we can keep using host name because we have
Yeah. Because of the services there, even DNS client service is always in every computer.
No, I mean we don't have a DNS server, but it will use the NetBIOS.
NetBIOS will be used, exactly,
So
just to ping
we
in.
can ping using host name.
So this is a good question. So guys, name resolution can happen if so in our environment now we don't have a DNS server, specific server separately, but every client, if I go to Windows 7, my laptop operating system here, let's check that if I have any service that can help me do name resolution, that is taking part in the name resolution. We are at home, still we are able to access by name many things, right? Websites and everything. We are redirected to the proper source. So in my Windows 7 laptop, Windows 7 or Windows 8, you have, so if I go to D, do you see any service that see this DNS client? So DNS is always there in every client machine, no matter wherever you are. DNS client service is always there. So you are always having DNS name resolution going on in your operating systems. Whether you're in a domain environment or connected to a server, you always have a DNS client there, which is serving your name resolution needs. Okay, so this is just in services, and you go to D and you will find that. So okay, let's go ahead. Let's just skip that. So we'll just go for next. Yeah, this one. So we did not do any change. Yeah. So if it was separate somewhere, or if we had a second DNS server, we would have added here. If we had a second DNS server. But it's already detected the correct information, and we as system administrator know that, so it's okay. We can go ahead, right? Okay, next. WINS we're not using, it's being discouraged right now. Name resolution. DNS is encouraged because it does multi-platform name resolution for Linux, as in outside world on internet it's DNS going on, it's not WINS, right? So it's encouraged we are encouraged to use DNS only. Okay, I want to activate this scope now. Yes, activate this scope. Next, and finito. Okay, now we have this scope. Can anyone tell me quickly what is the IP your machine is going to get now?
0.1.
So you're saying the client machine will just give me one IP.
61?
You're saying 61
You mean the clients or
client.
the clients?
One client. We're gonna remove the static IP, and we're going to at once it's going to receive an IP from DHCP. What IP it will receive?
71.
Anyone 71 61, right? 60 71 60. Okay, it's 71 1, 72 2. Oh no, 71 2. Do I hear 73? It's not an auction. Okay, anyway, so Humber 2. Let's go to the second machine. We have different IP addresses. So the winner is, where's the drumming? Oh, anyway. Okay, let's go there. Hey, you already checked that. That's not fair. So if I go to the second server, and here all we need to do is what? Remove your static IP. How do we do that? We go to the local server. I mean, on server side, when you remove the IP, it's different. Windows 8 client, it's a little different. Okay, I'm on local server. On second server, I click the Ethernet 0. Double click the Ethernet 0. Everyone there? Double click Ethernet 0 and click the properties of that. Click double click v4. Everyone there? Yeah, we did that before, right? So obtain an IP address automatically here, and obtain DNS server automatically, right? Everyone did that? Press OK. Press OK and stay there on details. So those who were saying 61, those who were saying 70.
I say 60.
You excluded the rest of 61. Yeah, the first one is 60.
So it should not get 61 because
Almost easy.
it's in exclusion. You're over there, almost there. Okay, that's also an option. Almost there. Yeah. So nearest round. So 70. Why did you go for 70? Because of the exclusion range, right? 71. Sorry.
For something else.
So exclusion range was from 61 up to 70. It's supposed to give, DHCP always gives IP addresses sequentially. First IP available was 60. So I made a confusion there by putting the exclusion range from 61. Oh, for fun, you know. Okay. So, and then 70. No, 70 is still in exclusion range. 71 is the proper IP, right? So now we understand exclusion range better, right? That whatever inside exclusion range will not be distributed. Okay, now we get it. And it's fun. Anyone not getting this IP at all? Anyone not getting this IP? What's your IP? 02?
I wanted it the same. I didn't change it.
Okay. So you did not turn it to automatic, right? Okay. Anyone else receiving an IP other than 0 or 0.2 or other than 0.60? Anyone receiving IP other than, so you all saw the video. I think if you are receiving any weird IP, then you have to disable the DHCP. Okay. Everyone's DHCP, VMware DHCP is disabled? Okay, nobody knows, but how does it work then? Okay, if I go to file on my VMware, if I go to edit actually, not file, and go to virtual network editor, if it's loaded on host only, this use local DHCP should be unchecked. Is it unchecked for everyone? Because we are on a separate VLAN, you know, VMnet 15, or are you on host only? VMnet 12, right? Okay, so since we are here now, can you make sure that this is unchecked? How do you do that? You're on this screen, right? You can go to change settings. It is checked, so uncheck it. We need to uncheck that because it will distribute its own IP from DHCP if our client does not connect with our DHCP, right? So I go to change settings here, change settings, then press yes, and it's one day it's going to appear there. Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, thanks. Okay, this, if you go to, in my condition it's host only, so use local DHCP, uncheck it. It's going to create problems later whenever you're having DHCP and our DHCP somehow is not communicating with the client. It's going to grab from this range, 110 up range. So uncheck this, make sure your VMware Workstation DHCP is unchecked. For bridged, for NAT, for host only, the last one should be unchecked. But mainly we are using VMnet 12 or host only, right?
For the NAT also?
Well, we are not using NAT, but in case you are using NAT, yes, uncheck from everyone.
We are using NAT for the other.
So yeah, you should then uncheck it, definitely.
This cannot be unchecked.
Oh, then go for change settings. Do you see change settings written somewhere? Reason is that it's going to assign an IP of its own. There's a range here. It's going to assign from this 237. And if it's a VMware Workstation IP, then we cannot communicate with our machines anymore, which is a different subnet. So this is just a VMware Workstation. This is just an extra thing that could create problems later, right?
After change settings,
Change setting, just click any one of these things, cards, host only or bridge or VMnet 12, and go down in the bottom and uncheck this use local DHCP.
How do you know which adapter we are using?
What we have set up for our domain controller, either it's host only or it is VMnet 12.
Is there a way to see which adapter exactly they are with?
Well, I need to see that.
Because
I'll just simply Google that.
IPconfig call doesn't.
No. IPconfig won't say this thing.
Normally it says VMware adapter.
Yeah.
It does not.
No, it doesn't say it like this. Yeah. 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 If it's already unchecked, we are good. We don't need anything else. Yeah. Administrator privileges are required. So change settings. Yes.
yes, already I have done.
Then open this globe. Yeah. Now click the VM host only above VMnet 1. Second one, yeah. Now go ahead. And this one. Okay. Okay, guys, let's go ahead. We have done the client side testing, but we still need to check what other options are there in DHCP. So I'm going back to my Humb server 1, and remember that as well. Now our member server is on automatic IP. It's not on static IP anymore. And later we're gonna create a child domain, so we need to convert it back to static IP. When we do that, then we're gonna do that, but I'm just reminding you now that we're gonna have to put the static IP again on server 2 later. Okay, so are we on this scope? And on the address pool, what do we see in the address pool? Yeah, lease and exclusion range, right? IP excluded. And second thing, what are we seeing in address leases? The server 2. Everyone is seeing in the address lease the server 2 because it is using that lease. So all the clients will show here in address leases, right? It's address lease. So everyone is seeing the address lease server 2, right? So all our clients will show here. Okay, reservation. This is what? So suppose, yeah.
Suppose that we are going to have a device that we are configured right now and assign IP right now, and we don't want any device to get that IP.
Hmm.
So I need to go to the reservation scope and we get that.
Yep. So, yep. Yeah, we can do servers, but best practice is that keep servers away from DHCP. Although we can do that. Okay, reservations. So right click that, and if you click new reservation, you can see that, okay, suppose this is a laptop of my director. So maybe director laptop, I would just put, for example, and then an imaginary IP here as 0.27, suppose. But this is the MAC address that I need to give. What is a MAC address and where do I get it from? Physical address and so how do I get the MAC address of this machine? Server 2. Yeah.
Default is 27.
Sorry.
We are not supposed to use 27. We need to pick something from the scope.
Exactly. So why I put there 27 as imaginary address, but yes, it's not from the scope. So what do? I would go to the machine and I would do IP config. I would get two things. One is IP, second is. So if I go there, which is good pointed out that. God, man. So yes, that no, I wanted to say, hey, I was just testing you, So okay, you got me there. So yes, it has to be from. So I'm on server 2 now. IP config only. If I put here, will it give me both answers or one? I need IP address and MAC address. Here you go. So up arrow again and /all should give me the physical address, which is this. Okay, let me mark that. And this is the physical address, and this is the IP address here. So physical address is alphanumeric, IP address is numeric. Oh, okay, just numeric. So we can have from IP config /all physical address as well as this. We can copy from there, right click just in the command prompt and it will copy, right? Or we can get the same information from so local server assigned by DHCP. We can go to Ethernet 0, double click, and details. From details also we can get the same information, right? Details, and this is the physical address and this is the IP address, right? And we can control C the whole thing here. So I've selected here and control C. When I go to my notepad, no, sometimes I need full information about the network card, lease duration and everything, so it's on the notepad. I can just copy paste all the information. Otherwise, which list?
No, the lease.
On the DHCP side, it should be also there. But if you want to get the full information for just one network card, we can just click anywhere here in the details and control C as well. Anyway, we got our physical address here and we got our IP address. Yep.
You can access the other computer our environment by using the
By using the ARP command. There is a get mac command as well, get mac and /computer, and there's a ARP command as well. Okay, that's good. You could put that in the Google group as well, that there's a ARP command, but what is the syntax of that command, right? If you know that, so you could just share us with that command with regard to DHCP. Thank you. And that's a good information. We should share more information as we know that. So there's a get mac as well. That's on my forum, idprofcourses.boards.net. Get mac and the computer. You could just remotely take the physical address of any computer server. You don't have to log in there, right? Okay. So okay, if I go there, this is so I can just put the that IP there and the MAC address there, and this is how we can have that IP reserved with that MAC address. MAC address never changes, right? IP address does change, can change, but MAC address is the address of the network card. So unless you change the network card, which is very rare. Yeah.
How can we customize our MAC address?
Customize our MAC address. In virtual environment we can, but in physical environment it's a hard-coded thing. Physical environment, we have one MAC address. You want to customize MAC address? That's the first time I'm hearing. Come on, man. Okay, I need to Google that. How to customize MAC address, Google, and there will be so many links, and just share that information with us as well. So okay, there it is. What is boot P here? So boot P is I'll just put it there. So in DHCP I'm updating the notepad now. You could just take that from there. One is that for lease we use MAC address. We get it by ipconfig/all. And second thing I'm updating on the notepad.cc/humber3 is that the boot P is the DHCP traffic that is allowed across the branches. So there are two branches, suppose. It's already on the notepad. You can just, if the notepad is open in front of you, what do you see there? You have to always F5 that notepad. When I put a new data, it's just there, right? It refreshes itself, right? Okay, so
Boot P actually it is permanent place. Boot P is permanent place.
So boot P is also if there's a DHCP traffic coming across the router and you have to enable that traffic, that type of traffic.
What is relay?
Your DHCP relay is also there, but boot P traffic is allowed. It's also DHCP traffic for which is going across the router.
But boot P is like permanent.
I understand that. So you're saying that when boot P is there, then IP address is permanently given to that device. It's not even reservation. It's not even reservation, right? It's a
It's like for implants like permanent.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to discuss that. There's another concept of boot lease, boot P traffic when it comes to the inter-branch communication, right? Okay, what we did till now on the map is that DC, DNS, GC, yeah,
We just reserve this IP60 to the MAC address.
yeah.
And do both, right?
Sorry.
Supported types.
Yeah, both. So DC, DHCP, member client server. Let me just go back there again. Yeah, here both. Yeah, MAC. You already did that. The IP and the MAC address. Done. Actually, I was just giving the example. Huh? I mean, like you can actually do that, but we're gonna remove that anyway. I mean, we're gonna remove that IP. But if you wanted to do that, this is the way, right? So you should know the way. That's all. So I'm gonna close that because we're not doing that. But you know how to do it, right? Okay. So scope options. Yeah.
If I address add, this is from a client that is not valid.
It gives a message from the client. Okay. Oops. Oh.
This server received message from the client is not valid. I use the 60 and the MAC address exactly the same as server.
You could put it without dash. Try to put it without dash.
Without dash with the MAC?
Yeah. Try to put it and check. It
Just
should
a
not
space
count.
or just
Yeah. No. Without space and nothing. Oh. Okay, guys. Did you put the? Did anyone try to successfully put the reservation? Did you get any error? Although I did not do it, but if you want to do it, you just have to put the, MAC address there, without the dash, and then do it, right? Did you try that? Okay.
What is the difference between reserving IP and putting exception in the scope?
Putting exception would not give it away at all, and you should not. Exception means you're not using it. This IP, that range, and you're leaving it for the rainy days, like today. It's rainy day. No, but it's for bad times when you run out of IPs. You can release it from the exception. But reservation, you're using an IP. You're not changing it. You don't want it to be changed ever, even if the machine was down for 2 months. When it starts, IP never is taken away.
And one more question, like if I have put one IP, like from any other different range, I reserve this IP. And tomorrow if I gave a range and that particular IP falls within that range,
Oh.
it will be automatically taken.
Now, reservation means it's a manual step.
No, but that IP will not be given. Like if
Okay, yeah.
I'm reserving IP 25, and tomorrow later on, like 2 months down the line, I reserve a pool, I make it move from 20 to 30. What about the 25 more IPs?
So you should, in the same DHCP, if you have given that and you have reserved it already. So first of all, you as a system administrator should not do that. But if it is reserved already and you're still putting it in another scope, DHCP might do that because it's not exclusion. You reserved it, but you're again giving it for distribution. So it will create a conflict then. So we as system administrator should not do that. DHCP will just do that what we say. It will not distribute anything that's in exclusion range. That's it. That's what it doesn't touch. Anything else it touches and it distributes.
Creating a pool, you should be able to check.
Exactly. We should double check all the previous pools or reservations. That's all. We always have an Excel sheet that reservations, check that, and then create a range. So, yep.
So when we have done that changes in the virtual editor, I'm not able to ping my member machine. But from member machine, I can ping the server.
Oh, check firewall
Firewall is off.
for both. From member you can ping domain controller.
Yes.
From domain controller you cannot ping member.
Yes.
Oh, then check the member firewall. Hmm? Yeah, it's okay. So if it's not pinging, yeah. Okay. Okay, scope options. Okay, next laptop, please.
It's not working. The same. I take the dash and
You have entered. Oh.
no valid.
No, what was the first message? Press OK, and again press add. The unique identifier you have entered may not be correct. Do you want to use this identifier anyway? Okay, that's okay. And the DHCP server received a message from a client that is not from a client that is not valid.
Yeah, that's mean from the I
So
take the same-
you're reserving an IP which is already
no, not the ID, the MAC. Because I take it from the details from 060. And this is the MAC. I only take the dash. I know the dash. So this is the MAC without the dash.
we
Maybe
need to
because
really.
It's virtual. Maybe.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It should be. Guys, anyone was able to do the reservation? Let's just do it.
My neighbor.
You had it?
My neighbor.
My enable it?
Yeah, my neighbor.
Okay. So. Okay. Try to do the reservation as an assignment and good luck. I mean, already did it? No errors? So try to check because it should be exactly that. These steps are there, but can you change the IP or 60? No, change it to anything after 70 as an imaginary. Even if it doesn't exist, try to give that.
Yeah, but it should be for the other. You just for the
but
other machine.
Yeah, and
but how
keep
can I know the MAC address?
MAC address same this one.
Same this.
Just to check.
Yeah, that's mean let's.
मैं कुछ नहीं किया. Oh,
80
yeah.
or 75? 75
Yeah.
or 12.
75. Yeah, try that. Yeah.
That's the one, right?
No, I believe you, man. If you say. Okay, go.
I'm into the course.
Yay. Cool, man. Okay, scope options. Guys, so scope option is what? Scope options is that whatever you configure here will be configured for all the clients in the scope. So there are many options here that are just network settings, different type of network settings. Suppose there's a time server that you want to connect to. So this is the time. It will. You just have to select this, and if there's another time server that is the source. Yep. Oh, okay. I'll cancel out from here. Scope option is here after reservation. So right click this and configure scope options. There are server options and then there are scope options. So scope options have an effect on just the scope, and server options will have effect on all the scopes. Suppose there are, I've created 5 or 6 scopes here. So 192.168 0 range I'm using, then I start using 192.168 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5 subnets I've put there. So if I do the server options here, this will, whatever changes I make here will change everything on all the scopes. But what are those things? If I still go to the scope options here, everyone there?
Yes.
Right click, configure options, you see this. So there's a long list of network settings that you can do from your scope options. An example I was giving, already what is selected, if you go scroll down to 15, domain name, DNS domain name, and it is my domain.local. So scope option number 15 is selected. This means all the clients in the scope, suppose we had 50 clients, 100 clients, 200 clients, everyone is getting this information because it is configured in the scope option right now. And if there is, what else was in the background you can see 3 things, right? 003 is configured, 006 is configured, and 015 is configured. We just saw 015. If we go to 003 and start router, so in the wizard that we had to put this information, but it shows in scope option as well. Maybe your router changed it, maybe your router IP address changed later, so you cannot start the wizard again, right? You can just come to this area and change that IP address here, remove this IP from this, and click the new IP and add here for the router. So all the clients in this scope would know that now our router IP has changed, or maybe your DNS IP has changed. So whatever has changed for the scope, this is the area where you can tell all the clients, hey, this is the new information for me now, so okay, take this information now, right? So whatever you change here will affect all the clients in the network. Same for the server option. It's exactly offering the same thing But the thing is, whatever changes you make here will affect the whole server, like all the scopes in that server. That's the only, it has just bigger scope, it covers more scopes. Bigger scope is another word, but it covers actually technical scopes as well. So this is one of the main things that are happening here. Some of the things that we're going to revisit are policies and filters, but main thing we're going to revisit is split scope, and we're going to do a failover configuration where you have a standby DHCP and you have a active DHCP, and then we're going to crash one DHCP, and the standby should automatically take over the active one and start distributing the IP addresses after 15-16 millisecond. So we're going to configure that. We're going to come back there later. For now, this is the basics of DHCP. Let's go cancel that. Let's go quickly for the, okay, we have 15 minutes break, yay! At 5 sharp we start. Hey, it rhymes. 5 sharp we start. No, okay. Anyway, break. If you didn't believe, it's still a break. You still don't believe me, right?
You can pause the video.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yes. I wish it's inside there. You should have done here, you know. Okay, so let's create a child domain, and oh, there are so many missing. Let's do it quickly then. Okay, so now we are already logged into, so this is our environment here. We have a DC, DNS, GC and DHCP installed, and here the task would be to create a child domain, and it will be, and our half of the lab is done for child domain. No, I'm just kidding. So okay, so child domain, and then okay, we need to give static IP here again on this second member server. So I'm just creating a map here. Okay, Bilal is going, so let's, before he comes back, we should complete most important part of the lab. So so server 02, server 01. So now our steps would be to create a child domain here, but we need to first put the static IP here on the second server, check DNS on the first server. Because we did change the IP, let's hope that the DNS setting did not permanently take that settings, otherwise it just updates that whenever the new IP is there and we do flush DNS and register DNS, it's going to get that and update that information there as well. So these are some of the things that we need to do here: child domain, static IP, check DNS. What else? So we're going to create this according to this diagram here. So we already have mydomain.local, and we're going to create mississauga.mydomain.local, and we need to make sure about the spellings because this is a very tricky spelling, Mississauga. And so we're going to create child domain, and then we're going to go for the tree domain. I just wanted to check Active Directory as powerful as Avengers. No, it's more powerful than them. So definitions, lab scenario, I just wanted to go for this, the diagram. Yeah, we already saw that. So let's check why we need to go for the child domain. This is the basic definitions for Active Directory, domains, organization units, trees. On the first day, second day, we did talk a lot about trees, domains, forests, and organizational units. And then I just wanted to skip to the part where the rest of the info, these are all the other features of Active Directory that we had. Let me just open the second slide as well so we could check those as well. These are the definitions I put in the start of the slide. Before interview, just go through these definitions whenever you have an interview, so you could really have all the explanations after you put the definitions correctly to impress the interviewer. PowerShell, then what we covered today. Did you wear? There will be this. Now this comes to the third tree called Hamilton, which is DTware. So we're gonna go to the tree domain later. Let's start with the child domain. The reasons for child domain. Anyone can tell me why we create a child domain? So I'll just update it there on the notepad. Reason number 1. Yes, correct. Okay. Reason number 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What's child domain we create for what?
There are one policies.
So we can have separate policies from the parent domain. What else is different in child domain? What else is a beneficial when we create a parent domain and child domain relationship?
Security.
It doesn't have all of the details.
So parent domain Active Directory and child domain Active Directory. So this is the end of this lab, and we're going. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, doesn't. Just wanted to shock you guys. Oh, it's already done. So okay. So parent domain Active Directory and child domain Active Directory. Do they replicate? So domain controllers talk to each other, right? Domain controllers replicate each other. Does parent domain controller and child domain controller replicate or not? So this is a question. If I go back to the diagram here and create, okay, I'll just create a bigger page here, and I'll just quickly create 2 diagrams, 2 branches here, suppose. So if there's a this is the my domain dot local, and this is the Mississauga. Oh wow, I made it. My domain dot local. And oh, okay. Yikes! So much of okay, that was not that good. So let me just put it a little. Okay. So this is mydomain.local. This is Mississauga.mydomain.local. I have one domain controller here, this domain controller, and I have one domain controller here. So if I create here on mydomain.local, which is in Toronto, if I create, so this is in Toronto. And it's called it's the Toronto parent domain, and if I create here 400 users in the domain, 400 users in DC of parent domain. So as soon as 400 users are created, then will those 400 users be replicated to the child domain controller? Yes or no? I'm just looking at you. Oh, yeah. So you can. So is there a Active Directory users and computers replication going on? Does it go on between the parent domain controller and the child domain controller?
Yes, but
There's a but. Okay.
global catalog keeps only partial information.
So if so, this question will remain now. we have already 400 users. Everyone has 400 users created from PowerShell, right? In the domain controller, first domain controller, right? We have 400 users. So what's the proof that we have? If I go to Active Directory, users and computers, by the way, anyone got the solution for this credentials thing that it again and again comes back?
Yes.
What? I mean, like, I don't want it to appear again for my lab. After 10 minutes, it just pops up again.
So local domain.
So turn off the screensaver. Yes, I can go there to the control panel here, and if I go to appearance here, and if I go to display and the screensaver and put it, then change power settings here. See, so easy. I mean, like, after you go to these million places and change plan settings from 10 minutes, if it lets me do that, to what? Okay, anyway, so you can change it to never and it's going to stay here, but there is some problem going on here. So yeah,
One thing.
change settings that are currently unavailable. Okay, now I get it.
Can you change your group policy?
Yeah, actually I tried that with group policy, it did not work. Yeah, I did that. Change plan, right? Okay, see, I was testing you only. No, I forgot that. Okay, never. I love never. No, you can just put it to 4 hours. So save changes, and now whenever I come back, I don't have to put credentials. Do not do it in your production environment in your office, because you would want actually ask credentials in 10 minutes, put it on 5 minutes. So whenever you leave, it should just, although you should just lock your screen, that's all, yourself whenever you leave. Okay, anyway, so we already have Active Directory, and I was going to show that if you go to tools and Active Directory and computers, then we have 400 users here in Exchange users, right? Actually 390 users, right? This is the long list. Now we're going to create a child domain, and remember one thing. Everyone remembers that last class we created a replica DC, right? And did you see that PowerShell users were there already? Everyone noticed that all the 390 users were there automatically in the new DC, right? Replica DC. Yes, no?
Yes.
Maybe? Okay. Now we're gonna create a child domain, and let's see. First thing we're gonna check is, are these 390 users there or not? It's a domain controller, right? Domain controller talk to each other. So let's check that. They replicate. Replicate. Yeah, you're right. Now I should be corrected every time, because in office, hey, are they talking to each other? So it's a bad habit right now. So on number 2, right now we're going to create. Okay, again credentials. I have to go to that 70 million links and then remove this from there as well. Anyway, we are logged into server 2. Everyone on server 2? Yes. Okay. Do you see domain on there? If it is on, you know what to do. Just turn it off, and because that's going to create problems for the connectivity. Now we need to do one very crucial thing. What is that? If it's a domain controller, it should be working with DHCP. It should be configured through DHCP if it's a domain controller, right? Okay, it should have a static IP. So I'm just gonna go there and put the old static IP here again, which is 192.168.0. Yeah. Sorry?
I didn't change that.
Oh, you add another.
No, I didn't change this.
Oh, I know DHCP. It's an easy subject. Why should I do that? Okay, 192.168.0.50, and the preferred DNS was 192.168.0.1. 1. Okay, everyone, server 2 should be looking like this again, as before. Yep.
Last time we installed the domain controller and DNS, so we could use 2 as well.
Exactly. But we removed it as well, right?
No, because we demoted, restarted, and
DNS.
went home.
Exactly. So DNS role is there, and it will be now used for the child domain.
And even the ADDS service is there.
ADDS services is there. Exactly. So we don't have to install the binaries of ADDS again. Yeah, that you're right. So that's why I uninstalled it. So now it's going to be easy. We don't have to add the binaries of this Active Directory. So press OK. Everyone's network card on server 2 looks like this. Server 2. Okay. Press OK. Press OK again, and close. Now we have to see, just press F5 here, so it should reflect the configurations we have just done, or current configuration changes we just did. So now we're going to create a child domain for that. So we had a replica DC, now we can have a child DC. One more scenario I wanted to talk to you. Okay guys, so if I have okay, Control N. Oh no, I need some more screen on the same page. Okay, so there is this Toronto domain, parent domain. There is this child domain called Mississauga. Now there is another child domain called Hamilton, and another child domain called New York. So I wanted to make a difference of child domain and replica DC across the branches, across the WAN as well. So this is Hamilton, and we have a very good WAN connection here. Then we have New York, which has a crappy WAN connection. New York, right? So there are 2 more branches here. But the thing is that I am putting here domain controller 1 in Hamilton and domain controller 2. Then I am putting here 2 domain controllers in New York as well. The only difference here is, and also 2 domain controllers, guys, it's a best practice, always have 2 domain controllers. So I'm just gonna create 2 domain controllers everywhere, but now I'm gonna change the design a little bit. Here you see mississauga.mydomain.local, and main domain is still the mydomain.local. Here I have 2 domain controllers, but they are still part of the mydomain.local. Now it's a different branch, but the domain controllers are still part of that parent domain. Or these domain controllers are also still part of that, but they have a changed domain name. When the domain controllers here in Hamilton, they are connected, they are still having the same domain. Why? Because we can change colors as well. Cool. Anyway, so I can put here replica DCs. Here I'm putting New York as a separate. So New York dot mydomain.local, right? So here I'm creating another child domain, but here I'm not creating a child domain. So what difference do you see here? Why am I not creating a child domain here? I'm just giving you a clue that the WAN connection is very good here. Second thing, that okay, if there is no child domain here but domain controllers are still here, what is the difference between Mississauga, New York and between Hamilton? So what difference do you see here? Here you see parent mydomain.local is a parent domain still, and 2 domain controllers are there. There is New York.mydomain.local, a child domain, but 2 domain controllers are here as well. Can anyone point out the difference between Hamilton and New York, or Hamilton and Mississauga? Okay, again, sorry. Distance is longer, okay, but does it make any difference?
These will be replica, Toronto.
So these are replica DCs in Hamilton. They are additional domain controllers, yeah. So additional domain controllers do what? Yeah.
Then you have the New York DC will have the partial
Yeah.
the parent.
Of the parent domain. So here what we have done yesterday in last class we did here. So this is the root DC here, and this is the replica or DC or additional domain controller here, right? But it's in the same domain, it's in the same site, right? But now we have a very good WAN connection here. We still add local replica DCs, replica of this guy. This is also a replica of this guy. When we add domain controllers here, we add them as replica DCs. Now we know how to create a replica DC, right? Install Active Directory. It already detects that over the WAN connection. It already detects there's a mydomain.local. Then just click next, finish, and replica DC is installed, right? The only thing here is that whatever changes are done, so suppose there are group policy changes done here, suppose there are group policy changes, group
They will be done in 45 seconds. And the other one, intra-site application 180.
yeah, inter-site replication always happen between 180 minutes, but if you keep it in the same site in Active Directory sites and services, which is a later topic, then it's going to be 45 seconds. But right now what I'm saying is group policies and whatever ADUC changes happen will be replicated to all replica DCs. So what I'm doing here is my WAN connection is very, very good. So I'm putting just replica DCs. I can put replica DCs here if I want to, and all the clients and all the client machines here can always just log into this domain controller, but the main policies, group policies, will be still implemented on the parent domain. All the group policies, all the changes will be done here. As soon as first domain controller has some new policy implemented, it will replicate those changes here, and those changes will go down here as well directly right away, then and there. All the clients can log in locally here instead of their user password information goes across the WAN to the the parent domain. The local replica DCs will do that, but they have the same domain. What is the difference now here? All the clients here as well, they are logging into New York or Mississauga domain controllers. What's the difference here?
They have full information for their child domain.
Yeah, they will log into their child domain always. Their login information is not replicated from the parent domain. Although for search, yes, the information of New York objects, everything in Active Directory New York, everything in Active Directory in Mississauga, everything in Active Directory in Toronto, that will all be available inside the global catalog server, but they will have their own replication. I mean, this New York.mydomain.local, if you have 400 users here, the question was initially, if you have 400 users here, they will not be replicated to the child domain from parent domain. And if you create 1000 users here in child domain, their information will not go to parent domain because of the separation of policies, because of the separation of administration of Active Directory. Global catalog info, yep. Only if they have a trust and you do want to replicate, that's all a manual process. But child domain by default, in whatever child domain is doing, it's your administrative privacy. Now we have a test network in our environment, that's a separate child domain. So whatever we do there, does not get replicated to the domain controllers of our parent domain. It's a separate administrative area while still linked to our parent domain. So the domain administrator of child domain can implement his or her own policies, and it does not affect our parent domain. Yep, except for the forest function levels and domain function levels.
What if Peter, he go to work from New York to Hamilton? So what happens?
They will still be able to log in.
So it goes to
GC will let you.
but he will be authenticated from New York DC.
As well. Yeah, information, it will, he will still be able to log in if proper domain information is given there. So you're saying, okay, this is a good scenario, and this is exactly what we're going to test after creating a child domain, that a user,
Do you have to create trust relationship between those two?
it's for automatic two-way trust relationship is there, so the user information can be retrieved. The thing is that okay, now another scenario comes here. First of all, we now know that there's New York.mydomain.local and Mississauga.mydomain.local. These users information do not get replicated. We're gonna just check it now. We have 400 users here already in mydomain.local. Now let's create a child domain, and once it is created and restarted, does that information get replicated right away or not, or at any time, yes or not, right? So first of all, 400 users should appear there if we think that all domain controllers replicate. Yes, all domain controllers, as long as they are within the same parent domain or within the same child domain, but not across, unless we do some manual changes, right? But how they will log in each other, let's test it, and then I'll draw a diagram for that. The answer for that is yes. If the user of New York comes to Toronto, user of New York will be able to log in from Toronto
But,
servers,
request
but
to-
from his own domain.
Yeah. So what happens if New York DC is down?
New York DC is down, then there's a problem.
He cannot log in.
No, then you have to do some manual steps to make him log in. Okay, main thing is, let's just create that environment right now. Main things are there is an administrative privacy here in the child domain, so anything happening in Active Directory of parent domain does not get replicated to the Active Directory of child domain, right? Let me just point that out as well here. So child domain here, I think everyone is on the notepad as well. Everyone? All right. So parent domain policies and ADUC changes do not get replicated to the child domain DCs. Okay, right?
So if the employee is transferred to the head office,
Just migrate.
migrate
Yeah,
the user account.
yeah, migrate it. That's so easy. Okay, so let's just check that out. Let's put it to test. Two of the three. So there's administrative privacy between the two, parent domain, Active Directory, child domain. So why is that? Child domain has administrative privacy to implement its own domain-wide changes. Okay, so let's go to our domain controller now and go to our second server. So already everyone has given what? Everyone has given static IP, right? Okay, so remember that our preferred DNS is who right now? So 01. While we are creating a child domain which is supposed to have its own administrative privacy as well. So, and in replica DC, we try to create an object and then we try to see if it replicates right away, and yes, it replicated right away, right? Everyone tested that, right? In replica DC in last lab, everyone tested that. So now we're going to test again. We're going to create another object in parent domain. We're going to create an object, new object in child domain, and we're going to check if there is a replication going on or not. So we'll do different tests just to check if there's administrative privacy is what kind of relationship is there, if there is any. Yep.
Active Directory has its own privacy. The DNS also.
It should have its own DNS as well as, just for name resolution to the other machines over the network. We can give all kinds of access one by one, but it should have its own DNS resolution as well, because the local computers are still there. Let's just put it on test right now and check. So I am everyone on server 2. Let's do you all see on the left side on server manager ADDS? Everyone sees that?
I have last time I have
So you could go to dashboard. You installed Active Directory on the first one 2 or 3 times. You tried that. So you just have to add roles and features. Go there next 3 times on the first 3, and then click that and next finish, right? Okay, so add roles and features. We already have that ADDS. We can promote this server 2 to a domain controller. Let's just click the yellow triangle and click the promote this server to a domain controller until you see this screen. Everyone on this screen? Yes, thank you. Let's go ahead. Oh, okay. You're there? Every 2 there? All right.
installing Active.
Oh, you're gonna pick up. Don't worry. When you reach there, I'll tell you. Or look at that right now. You will see the option. It's easy. Add a new domain to an existing forest. Shall we try that? Yeah, it says child domain, and let's add the main. Let's go for New York actually. No, but according to the slides as well. Mississauga. Now you need to really memorize these spellings, because if you put it wrong in certain other places, also it's going to make a problem. Everyone is seeing my domain /admin1. Everyone is seeing that? No? Anyone is not seeing this? Okay, admin1 should be there. You should be logged into the domain, although it can be created other ways as well if you're not logged in. Anyway, yeah. You're ahead of this? Okay. You need to go with us. You're on this screen, right?
No, back
Oh.
Role based?
Yeah, it's role based. Okay. Mississauga is created by everyone? Yes. Okay, next. And now we have what? This screen. So everyone on this screen?
Mississauga, my domain.
So just type Mississauga, that's all. Only Mississauga. I'm going to the previous screen again.
Sorry.
My domain.local is already there, right?
So after this, Active Directory, I install Active Directory.
Yeah, click anywhere else. Go to the yellow. Go to the promote. Yeah, this one. Now it comes to this screen. And select the second option, right? Yeah. So do not type mississauga.mydomain.local. My domain is already selected there, right? Do not type the whole thing. Just select Mississauga. Sorry?
On the down there's like 3 domain. What's the difference?
So exactly, this is the drop down button. If I go to child domain, I can create a child domain or another domain under the same parent domain, right? Same parent domain. But if I go for tree, now it says that come up with a totally new name, right? So if I go for Toyota.bmw, now it's going to be a totally different name, has nothing to do with name wise, to do with mydomain.local. But tree is just like a family tree, right? You totally separate a new name, you come up with a new name, and the family tree goes under that, starts going under that name. So they are still, yeah, brothers or whatever. So, but there are. Oh, last guys, are you able to see this? Okay, so you were nodding for last 3 classes like this. So what was that for? Okay, so let me create that magnifying glass thing. So the front guys always hate the magnifying glass. The last guys always love it, and middle guys are in the middle, neutral for everything as well. So magnifier. Okay, now do you see that? This is mucho better. Okay, you have to say mucho, right? Okay, child domain, tree domain. People in the last. So child domain, but we're gonna do the tree domain as well. We're gonna test that. So we're gonna check that. But tree domain is totally new name within the same forest, right? But it has nothing to do with my domain.local. That is called tree domain, where you have your name has nothing to. So it's a totally new name, right? And we discussed that scenario in the first few classes, right? That you have a group of companies. One company is all about the cars. The second company is all about planes. So if one company is cars.com and second company is planes.com, they do not have anything common. Okay, plane.net or something, but they are still under one group of companies. So your CEO or the president of the company decides that, okay, create both domains under the same forest, within the same forest. The only thing we will do, the only reason why we would combine 2 different names within the same forest, so the employees of planes.com can access the resources of cars.com. Employees of cars.com can access the resources, all the network resources of plane.net, right? We're
Same like child domains, except the name is different.
Their name is totally different. Even their child domains have no two-way trust relationship between the other child domains, but they are still within the same forest function level. They have even more privacy separation, administrative separation than the child domain. But anyway, let's go with the child domain, my domain.local, and Mississauga. So everyone there? It should look like this. So yeah, if you're on this page, it should look like this. So Mississauga, just put the correct name because you need to put it somewhere else as a whatever. If you put wrong spelling here, just try to remember the wrong spelling. It should be exact that wrong spelling. Otherwise, if you put the correct spelling later, that would be wrong. So it's already installed because it's grayed out, right? So it's already installed. Cancel out from here. And you already have ADDS there.
Yes.
So just go there, ADDS. And it's already, hey, this is a replica DC. It's already installed fully. Did you uninstall in the last class?
Yes.
You removed it. You uninstalled it because it looks like it's installed fully. So right click here on the blue area. No. It's already installed actually. So we need a member server without Active Directory installed. Just the ADDS showing there. So you can redo it by seeing the lab or uninstall it now and join us. You can do all those. Okay guys, so next. Okay, when you select a child domain, select the name. So the full name would now be, or FQDN would be Mississauga.mydomain.local, right? The FQDN of this child domain would be Mississauga.mydomain.local. So now we have the same domain functional level because it's a separate domain. So just domain functional level is there, and DNS will be installed, which is already there actually, the role. Global catalog will be installed, and we're not creating any RODC. Why is RODC? It's the second domain controller in our forest, right? But RODC is still checked out. I mean, like grayed out. We cannot even check it.
Because this is a child domain. This is not the
So
if we make domain controller in the same directory, then it could be
okay, okay.
First domain controller.
It is the first domain controller of, exactly as you said, first domain controller of the child domain. Any first domain controller is never have the opportunity of, or the this choice of being converted as RODC or created as RODC. Any first domain controller is never done that. So it's the first domain controller of our child domain. Second domain controller will have that choice, but not the first one. First one has to be a read and write domain controller. Read and write domain controllers have all the credentials stored locally. Read only domain controller do not have any passwords stored locally other than what we want to add, right? Anyway, we're gonna go for the RODC lab as well. We're gonna see it firsthand. Okay, password. So the class password, which you already are giving. So I'm just gonna go there. Everyone on this screen, right? So the guys in the last are able to see that, right? Everyone in the last can see. It's better now, or okay, it's much better, doctor. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so next is okay. So create DNS delegation. We already have a DNS here. Yes, just create DNS delegation just means that this server would be used as a DNS server. So nothing to choose here, nothing to change here on this screen. Just press next. Everyone, every two there? Now verify NetBIOS name assigned to the domain and change it if necessary. So this blue screen just goes there. So its single name is appearing here. Whenever this happens, what's the meaning of this? Right. No, I'm asking. Okay.
the network name.
For legacy.
Legacy applications who want to, so who cannot connect with the the prefix dot suffix format of the name can connect the Active Directory with a single name. So that's a single name they can access with. Even also we can join a computer to a domain with just this. There is a prefix, right? So it is something before the dot, and something after the dot is suffix, right? So prefix is this. We can use just the prefix for joining computers to the domain as well. If you are joining the computer and you just type the first part of the domain name, it also joins. But it's always best practice, recommended, when you're joining a computer or server to a domain, to type the full something dot something, or Mississauga dot local. Put the full name always. Don't go for that single name. Anyway, the single name is for legacy applications who are connecting to Active Directory with a single name, which are programmed to connect Active Directory with a single name. So anyway, next, nothing to change here as well. Okay, there is that database folder which is created inside NTDS. Log folder and sysvol is there. Yes, every domain controller must have a sysvol, so the group policies and scripts could be placed there for central distribution throughout the machines and users of the domain. Okay, next. Now this is a summary, and let's just go ahead and next again. Nothing to change so far other than creating a child domain and giving that domain a name. So once it's done, then we click install and wait for a restart. So okay, we will not restart. Huh? It didn't? It should. If it asks for a restart, okay. If it doesn't ask for a restart, still restart. It's an Active Directory, right? So it's always good to make it fresh. Let it restart and put the installation. Okay, this error is coming. Okay. Yeah. This warning is coming that if you have a very old domain controller, try to kick it out, throw it out of the window, but first remember to open the window, don't break the glass, right? It's a very old domain, it's not worth it. Anyway, just kidding. So next, all prerequisites are there, passed successfully. Click install, and you should be coming back. So now we're gonna check the parent domain. We did check the parent domain Active Directory when we installed replica DC. We checked different places for that. Now we're gonna go for different places to check the child domain DC. So there's Active Directory domains and trusts that we need to go for. There's Active Directory sites and services that we will go for, right? So let us just restart this domain controller. It should automatically restart. It better. Otherwise, throw the machine. No, even without selecting, I didn't have to select that option. Yeah, it's possible. So everyone, it has restarted for you? Or are you ordering the SSD?
Now, server 2 computer account on the server 1. Now it shows like it should not be there because now it's number confirmed. It shows.
No. Server 2 account. But what about the 400 users? Account server 2, we're going to talk about that because it's still going to show something of, and we're going to go to the places for domains and trusts and sites and services. Check there as well. It's still a domain controller. So it's going to show side by side. And if it's showing server 2 in the computers folder or domain controller?
It shows in the computer, but it's like a deleted account. It looks like
Okay.
No, because it was there before.
Yeah, it was there for,
But
so F5 it or just, the record will be gone. Okay, guys, so restart it. See, it's so fast for me. Okay, now it's also waiting for me. Yeah. But we're gonna go on. Okay, let it reach there. Then I want to show something. Okay, it's I'm there already, and there's that huge clock, and let's just try to log in to the child domain controller, domain controller. So I'm just gonna send the all control delete here and go for admin1 mydomain.local. Is that the correct? What do I do now?
This is a
So now here we have to at least once write the spellings whatever you wrote there. It was wrong there, then don't try to correct it now. Missy sausage. Oh, sausage? God, man. If somebody's coming from Mississauga, they will be really, whenever let him get out of the class and then we'll. My city. Okay, it is showing there already Mississauga, right? So you can just check the spelling there. If it was wrong spelling, it's there right now. So, okay, if I start typing administrator, what will happen? Administrator. Huh? Now I gotcha there. On the root DC, there is no local administrator. It is the only administrator there. But in member in replica DCs, there's always local administrator account and there's always a domain administrator account if it's still the administrator account. In our case, it's admin1, right? But in root DC is always local administrator is gone. They remove it on the root DC only. So the first DC of your domain, right? So I put that administrator there, but it did not change it to local because this is a root DC. Okay, the password there, and let's log in. But we're logging in from Mississauga. So whatever administrator password was there, that's the password. It would be the local administrator password. Yeah. Were you all able to log in from Mississauga? Okay. If you were using the same password, you will not have a problem. So yes, otherwise that's a good question. Okay, let's go and check if we have a child domain. What is the proof it is a child domain? Okay, first of all, if we are logged in, do you see 400 users? Yes or no? So if I go to tools now, I'm in the mississauga.mydomain.local, Active Directory user and computers. So everyone's Active Directory and computers looks like this. Mississauga.mydomain.local, right? Wrong? Maybe? Yes? Alright. So that folder called OU called Exchange Users is not there, right? But let's just try to create something new. So I'm just gonna go to users and create a user called user1, and we are creating that object in the child domain. Right click.
We have user already in the parent domain.
We already have a user1, so let's create user10. And so yeah, because if we create user1 here, hey look, there's a user1 there, it replicated. That's a good one. So good catch. So let's create user10 or user100 or whatever. So I'm in mississauga.mydomain.local, right click users, click new, click user again, and now user10. Alright, user10, logon name. When you put first name, it automatically puts the full name, and the logon name is user10. And the domain name is still showing Mississauga, of course. Next, the password you give, try to give the same password. And uncheck user must change password at next logon, just for our lab. In production environment, you always check that. Always go for the user must change password at next logon. This is always a good practice to keep it checked in production. Okay, next, and the password do not match. Wow, that was so embarrassing. Anyway, so I'm just gonna try again. And next, and finito. Okay, I've created a user called user10, and whenever you create something in Active Directory, right click the main domain name and go for refresh here, like this. Right click the main domain name and refresh. Okay, it refreshed. Now let's go to my parent domain hum server 01. See, it's still open. I didn't have to put credentials. I'm so happy today. I'm about to cry. Oh, anyway. Okay, users. So I'm just gonna go and refresh here, mydomain.local, refresh, and then go for users, and then go for user10 if there is any user10. There's a user1, definitely. I was gonna create user1 and then what? How did it got created? Anyway, so user10, it's not gonna replicate, main thing. But what is the other proof that it's a child domain has been created? Second thing is there is always a two-way trust relationship between the parent domain and the child domain. Let's check that out now. So on the parent domain, on server 1, so I'm closing the ADUC now, and I'm going to tools, and I'm going to this Active Directory domains and trusts. If you go here on server 1 or even server 2, that's the child domain, but if you go to server 1 or server 2, only this Active Directory domains and trust, and open that. When we open that, it goes to, let's go to mydomain.local, and it shows already the child domain there as mississauga.mydomain.local. If we right click mydomain.local, so right click mydomain.local, where are we? In Active Directory, sites and services, right? Domains and trust. Okay, so welcome back to Earth. Cool. Oh, okay, so we are in Active Directory domains and trust, mydomain.local, and go to properties, and okay, so we can see in the trusts area, this trusts tab, this is showing there that the trust type is child, mississauga.mydomain.local, and so domains trusted by this domain, outgoing trust, domains that trust this domain, incoming trust. So mydomain.local has a child trust relationship with mississauga.mydomain.local. Same thing, if I go to my right click mississauga.mydomain.local and go to properties now and go to trusts now, so mississauga.mydomain.local has a parent trust type relationship with mydomain.local. So it just says who is child of which parent and which parent domain. In a huge environment, it's always a good thing to see here. When you right click, there's a long list that which one is the parent domain, which one is the child domain, right? So we can create even in Mississauga another child domain called downtown.mississauga.mydomain.local, and then when we right click, it will show that downtown.mississauga.mydomain.local is the child domain of mississauga.mydomain.local. It's going to go this way and going to tell everything. This is my Active Directory domains and trusts. If I close this,
How do I know the domain controllers hosted from here?
domain controllers, so sites and services, let's go there. From here, no. From domains and trust, no. It's just giving the design of that. Okay, I'm closing this now, and we are going to Active Directory sites and services. So where is Active Directory sites and services? It's in tools and it's in sites and services. Oh, Active Directory sites and services. Everyone opened that? Yes. So please open Active Directory sites and services. Everyone there? Anyone? But I'm on server 1 right now. Same information you will get from server 2, same information you will get from server 1. Sites and services. If I open that, and if it opens today, and
It is minimized.
it is still coming. My drive is acting as super slow drive, SSD. Oh, it's here. Okay. So sites, if you now we are in sites and services. So domains and trust was telling us the design from parent child domain way, but now we're gonna go for sites and services. Sites and services tells how many branches we have or how many different subnets we have. Right now we haven't configured sites and services, and you're gonna see that there will be one question also for sites and services. Default for site name, if you expand that, and then servers, if you expand that, it's giving 2 servers. So when we created a replica DC, this was the same information, exactly like that. When we create a child domain, sites and services just knows that there are 2 domain controllers and they are both in the same network. While on our side, we actually created the second server on that Mississauga. So we are actually physically separately present in a separate physical location. But sites and services, we have to do some manual work there to tell the sites and services, hey, we have a second branch which is called Mississauga. Its IP is this, and the domain controller is actually not in Toronto, it's in Mississauga. Then these 2 domain controllers will start having 180 minutes of replication instead of 45 seconds of replication, right? Their ADUC will not be replicated. Only the global catalog and other partitions will be replicated. Yeah.
So it can be on different subnets, no? Even though in the same site.
Yeah, it can be definitely on different subnets.
Because
So
these these are not replica service. These
If you-
replica, we are supposed to book in the same site.
exactly. So here, sites and services, through sites and services, Active Directory just know I have 2 domain controllers here, and I think they are on the same site. because I was not told. Okay, if I just quickly create, right click here, sites, right click here, sites, and new site. So if I right click the, oh, the big screen. Okay, so sites and new site, and simply put the site name as Mississauga, and default IP site link, just click that. So I put Mississauga here, default IP site link as this, press OK. So now it shows like this. Default first site name and Mississauga. This default first site name, let's just rename it to Toronto. Default first site name, rename. Right click the default first site name and rename it to Toronto. I think you should all do that, because in later classes we will be confused. Hey, your site shows Toronto and my site shows default first site name. Why is that? So change it now. That is this. So please change it now. Rename, right click the default first site name, rename it to Toronto, and also create the second site, because in later labs we're gonna see the sites again and again, and at that time you would start seeing something else. So change it now, so you should not get confused, right? So we created a new site from right clicking the site, new site here, and we named the site as Mississauga. Everyone created these two sites? Yes. Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead. Yeah, everyone created that site? Okay, two sites should be showing, because later labs you will be confused if my sites appear in somewhere else like this, and I would say, hey, put Mississauga there and Toronto there, and you would not have those sites, so you will be confused. So those who are absent and seeing the video, yes, you seeing the video and you were not there, so just do that now. Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay. Yeah, creative. Be creative. I'm talking to those guys who are absent right now. I think nobody's absent today, right? Oh, okay. So I take my words back. Nobody's absent. Sorry. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I just watched too much movies. So yeah.
You don't have to put the FQDN,
No. So this is site name. You can put anything. It has nothing to do with name resolution or proper FQDN. Even if you want to put it, it's up to you. But normally here we just put whatever we want.
And the server in the default site for Toronto, you have to move the server.
Exactly. We should move that, but we haven't created properly the sites. Sites and services, you have to actually add the subnets and add the cost of the site.
Before moving?
Actually, this should be done before, even after moving we can do that. So in sites and services lab, we're gonna create 6 sites, and we're gonna have bigger network. This will all be imaginary, but the steps are same as if it was the actual site.
On our own lab, we can create different VMs and
Exactly. Yeah. If you have that kind of setup. Okay, so sites and services, we know that sites and services will know that there are 2 domain controllers. It does not know that there are 2 branches here unless we tell it. Otherwise, it is still thinking there's just one Toronto where those servers are. Even we have said this is Toronto, right? It just knows there are 2 domain controllers and that's it. Unless we start giving it information, it's not gonna know anything. But for our current lab, it doesn't matter. For now, we are concerned with child domain creation. Does it replicate with parent domain? We just knew that no. But there is one final thing that we still need to confirm. The scenario is you're a user of Toronto domain and you are visiting the Mississauga office. You want to log in from Mississauga child domain. How do you do that? Your username and password is on your Toronto domain controller. Your Mississauga domain controller does not have your username password unless you say to the administrator, hey, create my username password there as well. Yes. Or you can still log into the same network if Bilal starts seeing here. Hello. So child domain can we log in from? Can a user of Toronto domain log in from the child domain? If the user of Toronto domain is visiting the Mississauga office, can that user log in from the child domain of Mississauga? Yes or no? Okay. So okay, what we did till now is there is, so just reverse the example. The user of Mississauga is visiting Toronto office. The user is user 10. We just created, now everyone created user 10, right? So we need a third machine. Okay, so let it be your assignment that you will create a third machine and join it to which domain? Okay, let me give you a nice map of that. You're gonna get tricked off, but if you make it right, you will understand perfectly the child domain, parent domain concept. What happens is, let me just update you here, guys. Everyone, copy it as an assignment, and we go ahead as well. I'm going to explain you the steps. First step is, hey, do we need this full? Okay. First step is assignment. Okay. User, the objective user 10 should log in from Toronto domain. Now when you start doing that, you're gonna get confused. Steps, what you should do, create, okay, everyone has Windows 8 or Windows 7? Whatever clients you have from both of that. Otherwise you have DreamSpark. Now everyone has it? DreamSpark membership? Yes, right? So you have your own keys now. So better have a Windows 8 machine, right? Because most of our labs will be having latest policies, and Windows 8 knows some of those latest policies as well. It's okay, create a Windows 8.1 or 8, doesn't matter, client machine. Try to understand this scenario because you're gonna get stuck in that. Create a Windows 8.1 client machine and join it to mississauga.mydomain.local. Okay, login from user 10 from mississauga dot mydomain.local. Okay, I made it. Woo! Okay, this is easy, right? You join a machine from Mississauga.child domain. Of course, the user is from child domain, the machine is from child domain. You are going to be able to log in very easy. Now the challenge is, now the thing is that when you log in from, Mississauga domain, what you do is, the domain name is Mississauga, let me just do it this way. Log in to mydomain.local. Log in user 10 with mydomain.local to mydomain.local. How do you do that? So you can change, if the client is joined to Mississauga domain, so it's part of the forest now, right? So you should see both domains also available there. So this means that if I can show you here in a third client, it would be when there's a drop down list in Windows 7, you see both domains showing there, mississauga.mydomain.local and mydomain.local. You can just select the other domain if your user account is there, right? So for now, login user 10 with to my domain. Okay, to my domain.local. And are you successful? This is the question. Are you successful? And second thing is disjoin this Windows 8.1 machine from Mississauga. Okay, I should have just, okay, anyway, Mississauga.mydomain.local. Who just gave this name here? I mean, to this city. I mean, okay, anyway, Massachusetts. That's better. Yeah. Disjoin Windows 8 from there, and from Mississauga domain, then join it to mydomain.local. Disjoin from there, join it from mydomain.local, and try to log in from user 10 again. So again the question is, are you successful? So if not, put your error on Google group. If you are successful, then send me your screenshot. Okay, play with it. This is this is a child domain and parent domain environment. Play with it. Windows 8, join it to first domain. So the scenario remains the same, that employees always travel, especially higher management always travel across all the branches or some of the branches. So they need to log in, definitely, and they need to access their environment from any branch of their company of which they are directors. And if they are not able to log in, so what kind of system administrator are you? So you need to make it happen that user 10, your director is can log in from both my domain and from child domain. And these are some of the steps. You can Google if you want, but your solution should be very clear. Hey, this is the solution and this is the problem going on. We cannot disjoin always. Okay, director is moving from Toronto to child domain. Oh, let me disjoin it from there and join it again. Oh, I'm going in 1 hour back to Toronto. Oh, let me disjoin again and join again. No, that doesn't work. The director goes, sit, log in, use the network. Director goes back to Toronto and logs in, use the network. Seamless. You do not need to disjoin the director. If disjoining is not the solution, then what is the solution? Okay, one more hint I would give you. Try also to use admin1. Admin1 is an account created in Mississauga.mydomain.local, right?
No, server 1.
Okay, so admin1 is in Toronto, my parent domain, right? User 10 is an account in Mississauga domain. So try also to use admin1. Use this full thing, admin1 so my domain /admin1 on Windows 8.1 machine. Try this, admin1 on Windows 8.1 machine, while this machine is joined to Mississauga.mydomain.local. If this works, and do the same for user 10, and do the same. And no, if I say do the same, you won't understand. So also try to use Mississauga /user 10 while Windows 8.1 is joined, or create two Windows 8 clients, join one to the Mississauga domain and one to the mydomain.local. You can have two, then you don't have to disjoin, right? So if you can do that, if 4 machines can run in your laptop, it's okay, otherwise just go for one. So while Windows 8.1 is joined to mydomain.local. So these are another scenarios that will help you solve this problem in join to mydomain.local. So just try to use that and be in communication on the Google group. Hey, I'm stuck with this is the error. So others, please read that error and try to solve that too, because this is your troubleshooting, everybody's troubleshooting. If you're in a production environment, no one will help you there. You're alone, a lonely system admin. So here, this is the chance to solve this problem together. What is the scenario? Why are we doing that? Scenario still, your director can move to any of the 100 branches. Suppose there are 100 branches, and he or she should not be disjoining anything. Seamless. You go there, log in. You go there, log in, and you don't have to create their account on all those child domains as well. So user 10 is just there, admin 1 is just there. I'm giving you some scenario. How is it possible that you can use the network while your account is not created in that network? Yeah. So parent domain network as well as a child domain network. Now I'm giving a clue. Network. Okay, I've said enough, but because if I give everything, then it's not going to be fun assignment. Okay, goodbye. Yes, it's okay. Goodbye. Okay, so guys, when I reach there next time Saturday. Okay, so when I reach there Saturday, please try to be there sooner. I'll start when I reach there, right? So if you miss it, try to just not miss it. So because today it was too late. I mean, some people arrived so late. So please don't do that. Okay, see you next. And there will be 4 or 5 people giving exam tomorrow. They've all told me not to say that, so I'm just going to point out, hey, this guy told me not to say that he's giving the exam, and this guy and this guy. No, I'm not pointing anywhere, just kidding. So anyway, good luck with the exams, and share if you pass, at least share that, so, and I'll put you on I'm certified page with cohort 5 people, and they would also know they are visiting that page as well, because they are celebrities now. So okay, good luck. And I need screenshots for previous labs, previous weeks, and this week. So screenshots for some of the people is piling up. That's not going to be good when you have 3 or 4 weeks of screenshots owing to me. So I'm creating that list, and next Saturday I'm going to put that list. Hey, screenshot, where is the screenshot for this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy? Before that, send me. So I'll just put yes. Thank you very much, everyone. All right.
Just for one thing, for the group, I sent you another email, like the.
Oh, that was you.
That was, yeah.
Okay, just kidding. So, why? What happened?
Because I didn't have like a Google email.
I will forget it after 2 minutes. So I'm just adding you now. Can you confirm that? Because I have a very good memory.
Because can you keep like both emails? Because usually I use my original email.
Okay, no problem.
That one, Google email has more stuff to do.
Okay, so I am adding that now. Oh guys, and yeah, from Bilal there was a very good information that if you give CCNA exam for within 6 months, you do not have to get the training, which is very expensive for VMware. So this is a very, very good information. Thank you, Bilal. And please everyone, you can give CCNA exam with $250. He saved you actually $500. So you should all give $500 to him, and half off, right? Okay. Anyway, so yes, give CCNA exam from this VCE which we have downloaded thanks to Mr. Oh. everyone. And try to give this exam. It's a 6 month period where you can give without training. Otherwise, it will cost you dearly, right? That training. Without training, you have a very good chance now. Go for it now. And it's going to be official exam. Okay, in direct ad members. So I'm just, yeah. What's your email? You forgot your
Yeah, because it's
email.
email, yeah.
How you even breathing?
So Mustafa.ibrahim.
Okay.
Mustafa,
Discount. We get it once we actually finish the course in a year.
Uh,
Is there any other discounts?
For
It's usually $300.
for VCP, right?
No, not VCP.
CCNA.
$300 for the exam fee.
Oh, I think
They
there's a
said you-
VCP has a discount, but I don't know about Cisco. I don't think there's any discount for that. But if you have,
If we finish in here, and Danish will not give before we finish it. in
I
here.
even previous ones were saying, hey, where's the discount for Cisco, and we could not.
So Mustafa.ibrahim.
Okay.
And you
Because Cisco Network Academy, you have to finish all the courses and exams and everything, then you can sit.
But you have to confirm about at least Cisco,
That's
yeah.
why we saw like
Dot ibrah dot ibrah
at gmail.com.
at gmail.com. All right, please join. All right, at okay. So please confirm, and yeah, that's it.
And the notes, last sentences is you write it in. That's all. I didn't want to interrupt you. So.
Oh.
yeah.
N?
Yeah. Last the note.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So last sentence you go to
Where?
the one that you were typing in, the note,
Note. Oh, yeah. Okay.
because you were recording. I didn't want to interrupt you. So
Oh.
is in is joined.
Oh, in joint. Hey, thanks, man. This is recorded too. Oh, I
saw
didn't
that.
stop the recording.
I saw that, but I didn't